Hi, it's Tom from WOM World, and we're in the back of Richard's Tweet a London cab. Just going to ask him a few questions about the N97, which he's been using to tweet and to find his way around. So, Richard, how's the whole Tweet a London cab thing going as a whole?
Yeah, it's going very well. I mean, I think the whole thing with Twitter for us has been fantastic. We're not getting tons of work through it, but you know, I think just because of the way Twitter works, get lots of nice things said about us, and when the jobs do come through, they tend to be sort of decent jobs. The kind of people that are on Twitter, you know, they're not, you know, jobs that are going around the corner.
It's not going down the road to the shops or whatever.
So the ones that come through are decent, and it's been, the best thing about it has been, I mean, look, yesterday, for example, I broke down.
Right.
On a rank in South Kensington.
Yeah.
And I just put I wasn't expecting anyone to sort of come and help me, but I just put a sort of moaning message on Twitter saying, I'm broken down on South Kent rank. And then two of the guys who on Tweet a London Cab were around not far away, came and helped me out, got me started. So
excellent.
Brilliant,
you
know.
And you've had some great sort of media coverage and
yeah, exactly. You know, we had Sky News, Channel 4, all. I'm not quite sure where they picked it up from, but that's the way Twitter works,
Absolutely.
isn't it? It only takes one person who knows one person, you know, and suddenly it's in front of, you know, someone who, as I say, got to Channel 4 first, I think, and then a few other people picked up on it. Even Bloomberg in the US mentioned us.
I noticed the other day that Jonathan Agnew, the cricket commentator, has got 20,000 followers, and he's following only 10 people. One of them's you.
Yeah.
So has he used you in the...
Yeah, he's been our only sort of celebrity user so far. I mean, he's very new to Twitter. He's a big friend of Stephen Fry.
Yeah.
Which I only found out when he started talking about being on Twitter.
Right.
And he said that Stephen Fry persuaded him to go on it.
Yeah. And
in the lead up to, I think it must have been the Lord's Test match, he was just speaking about going to like a dinner, pre-test match dinner, and I sort of cheekily sent a message to him saying, well, if you need a cab, use Tweet a London Cab. And he didn't use us then, but while the test match was on, he sent a message. It was the Saturday. I happened to be working, so I went and it was only a very short job from like near Lords to Primrose Hill.
Yeah.
But it was great for him because he said, you know, because he's not like a mega celebrity.
No,
in the cricket world, obviously,
absolutely.
he's very well known. And he said, you know, it can be very difficult getting a cab from round there, and you don't want to be standing on the sort of street corner.
with people coming up to you.
And you've got, as you say, you've got loads of people. So he said it was nice because it's discreet, and you know, obviously all his details are sort of secure about where he'd stay.
Totally.
And all that sort of stuff because it's all done on the direct messages and that sort of stuff. So we took him, and then again for the Oval Test, one of the other drivers did a job with him for him as well.
That's a good endorsement if you can get it.
Yeah. I mean, and he's a absolutely, you know, he's a massive Twitter fan now.
Yeah,
you know,
he is
had
now,
there's been all this stuff about Lily Allen being on Test match special during the Oval Test, and that was all done because she's been talking about the cricket on Twitter.
Right. Yeah.
And therefore they got sort of into contact with each other, and then they had this big interview with her.
Perfect. Brings people together.
Yeah.
Now we've kicked it out yourself and a few of your fellow drivers with N97s.
Yeah.
How are you finding that for what you need it to do?
Yeah, I mean, as you'll see here, I've still got my iPhone, which I haven't had for that long either. But it will do the same sort of things. You know, I don't think there's actually any problem with what it can do.
Yeah.
You know, and in a lot of ways, I think a lot of the stuff. I mean, I was on holiday last week, but I took loads of photos. I've got video that I took while I was away.
Yeah.
Haven't done anything with it yet, but I'm going to properly do some stuff with it. Maybe put some stuff on my blog and stuff like that. But anyway, and stuff like that, it does better than the iPhone.
Right.
And just the sort of more basic, as a phone, it functions better and those kind of standard things. But for me as a driver, you know, you can't beat at the moment how easy the iPhone is for me to use.
Right.
And that's the only, so far,
Yeah.
That's the only kind of difference I found with them. Is it's just that. I think I said to you when we first looked at them,
Yeah.
the N97s, it was actually bigger and easier to use than I expected.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
But the screen still isn't quite as big as the iPhone, and the keyboard's not quite as easy
Yeah.
to use. But it's, you know, that's not. I don't think that's a negative necessarily. It's just a difference.
Yeah, you're in the ideal position, I guess, like, to do what classic mobile tech space comparison between the iPhone
Yeah.
and the N97 is a day-to-day usage, quite specific, but nevertheless.
Yeah.
So you're right at the cutting edge. I mean, Gravity which is the Twitter app we downloaded for you. Is that working? Is that?
I found it
do its
right. I know
thing?
a couple of the other guys have said they've had some problems with it on
Yeah.
the direct messages and stuff like that. But I've found it does the same as the Twitter applications that are available for the iPhone.
Right.
Does, you know, as far as I can tell, exactly the same things. And certainly last week, say I was away, and it just so happened that I'm on Vodafone, and where I was staying, the reception on Vodafone was much better than O2.
Right.
So I was actually using the N97 when I could on Twitter, and it's fine, you know. And I think it's just that whole thing, isn't it, about the iPhone's all about the look and the way, and that does help
It's
in
been said,
the way that you're using it. But in terms of, you know, if I was not a cab driver, it wouldn't make any difference to me.
Yeah.
The way,
Right.
and I actually, when we were driving down to Wales and I was passenger, you know, I was using the keyboard happily.
Right.
You know, so when you can sit down and use it properly, and you're not using the screen, and the touch screen, the keyboard works even for someone like me. You know, I'm not a small chap with kind of delicate fingers or anything, but it can work, you know.
Yeah. Now we had
very well. So, you know, getting whatever information you need into it is not really
that's
it's
if
not
you've
really
got
a problem.
if you've got a minute to stop and type in.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I haven't done with it yet is get it properly in the cab, so that it's sort of, if I want it, it's there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it would work just as well using the. And in a lot of ways, the predictive input. Probably will make it just as easy to input as when I'm putting a message in on the iPhone, because the predictive, you know, text and that doesn't work as well on the iPhone.
So, given that